There's a fire inside you that's been dimmed by doubt for too long. You've questioned your worth, hesitated when you should have acted, and handed your power to fear. But today, that ends. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build moment by moment, decision by decision, until your very presence commands respect without you saying a word. The world doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards certainty. And when you develop unshakable confidence, you stop asking for permission to live. You claim your place, your voice, your destiny. Because life doesn't slow down for the uncertain. It passes them by. So this is your moment to stop playing small, to rise, to decide that no one and nothing will ever again shake who you are and what you stand for. Doubt is the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It lives in the back of your mind disguised as logic, pretending to protect you from failure. But in truth, it's stealing your future one hesitation at a time. Every time you think, I'm not ready, or oh, what if I'm not enough? You give that voice power. And here's the truth: the longer you entertain doubt, the more it becomes your identity. It's not that you lack potential, it's that you've been rehearsing uncertainty for too long. Men and women experience doubt differently, but the effect is the same. It paralyzes action. Men often tie their confidence to achievement, to the idea that they must earn worth through results. When they fail, they question who they are. Women, on the other hand, are often conditioned to doubt themselves before they even begin, to seek permission or validation before stepping forward. But confidence doesn't come from validation, it comes from repetition, from proving to yourself that you can handle what life throws at you. The first battle is not with the world, it's with the voice inside your head telling you that you can't. The mind is designed to protect you, but it often protects you from growth. Doubt is its favorite weapon because it feels rational. It convinces you that staying safe is smart. It tells you that waiting until you're ready is wise. But there's no such thing as ready. There's only now. Every confident person you've ever admired had moments of fear. The difference: they moved anyway. Confidence is not the absence of doubt, it's the decision to act in spite of it. You build unshakable confidence by walking straight through the storm, not by waiting for it to pass. You must learn to confront the voice directly. When it says, you're not good enough, answer with evidence of your resilience. When it whispers, you failed before, respond with, and I rose again. Train your inner dialogue to become your greatest ally, not your greatest enemy. Confidence grows when you stop negotiating with fear. Because the moment you start debating whether you can or can't, you've already lost momentum. Action kills doubt faster than any affirmation ever could. The longer you think about doing something, the less likely you are to do it. The shift happens when you decide that doubt no longer deserves a seat at your table. You replace hesitation with certainty by taking control of what you focus on, how you move, and what you say to yourself. Confidence isn't built by thinking your way into it. It's built by acting your way into it. The more you do the things that scare you, the quieter that voice becomes. And soon doubt doesn't disappear, it just stops leading your life. Because when you learn to destroy the voice of doubt before it destroys you, you don't just build confidence, you become unstoppable. Certainty is not luck, it's a mental discipline. It's the inner foundation you build brick by brick through repetition, emotion, and belief until hesitation no longer finds a home in your mind. Most people wake up each day conditioning themselves for hesitation without realizing it. They replay past failures, rehearse worst-case scenarios, and question their own worth. Every thought repeated becomes a mental groove, and the mind follows the groove that's most familiar. If hesitation is your default, it's because you practiced it. But if you can condition your mind for hesitation, you can also condition it for certainty. The human mind is a powerful machine, but it operates on the patterns you feed it. Men and women both crave confidence, yet their conditioning often points in opposite directions. Men are taught to appear strong even when uncertain, leading them to bury fear instead of transforming it. Women, on the other hand, are often encouraged to overanalyze, to seek reassurance, to ensure everything is perfect before they move. Both approaches build hesitation. Certainty, however, is not about ignoring fear or waiting for perfection. It's about mastering focus. Whatever you focus on consistently, you begin to believe, and what you believe repeatedly, you start to live. Every emotion you feel is the result of what you've been practicing mentally. If you constantly focus on what could go wrong, your body and brain will feel hesitation as your normal state. But when you focus on what must go right, when you lock your mind on the outcome with unshakable clarity, hesitation loses its grip. Confidence is a muscle and certainty is its fuel. You train that muscle by controlling what you visualize, how you talk to yourself, and what you associate pain and pleasure with. The mind doesn't respond to what's true, it responds to what's familiar. Make certainty familiar and it becomes who you are. You have to consciously break the loop of hesitation. Every time you second guess yourself, stop and shift your mental state immediately. Use movement, power, breathing, or commanding language to change your energy. The fastest way to recondition the mind is through physiology, because the mind follows the body. When you stand tall, breathe deeply, and speak with strength, your brain gets the message that you're safe, capable, and in control. Confidence isn't intellectual, it's embodied. Men rediscover their certainty when they reconnect to their physical power. Women awaken theirs when they align their body with their inner voice of truth. Both must understand that the body is the gateway to belief. To condition your mind for certainty, you must also control your internal language. Words are commands to your subconscious. If you keep saying, I don't know if I can, your brain listens. But when you declare, I will, I am, I must, you give your nervous system a direction. The language you use shapes the reality you live in. So you have to speak the language of certainty even before you feel it. You reprogram your mind by speaking from the version you that already owns the outcome. That's how you turn belief into identity. True certainty doesn't come from knowing how everything will unfold. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. That's the kind of confidence that's unshakable, the kind that's not dependent on circumstances but rooted in inner power. Both men and women can build this state by developing emotional control, clear intention, and relentless action. The more you condition your mind to move forward with faith rather than freeze with fear, the faster your nervous system adapts to certainty as its baseline. The moment you train your mind to trust your decisions completely, hesitation disappears. And once hesitation dies, certainty becomes your new normal. Your body is the gateway to your confidence. Every emotion you feel, fear, doubt, hesitation, certainty, is not just in your mind, it's in your physiology. The way you stand, breathe, and move tells your brain exactly how to feel. Most people try to think their way into confidence, but confidence isn't a thought, it's a state. You don't wait to feel powerful, you move like someone who already is. Because the truth is, your body doesn't just express emotion, it creates it. If you can control your physiology, you can command your confidence anytime, anywhere. When you're uncertain, your body collapses, your shoulders drop, your breathing becomes shallow, your eyes avoid contact, and your energy shrinks. That physical pattern tells your nervous system that you're in danger, that you're not in control. But when you shift your posture, when you open your chest, lift your head, and breathe deeply, you send a completely different signal. Suddenly, your brain interprets power instead of panic. This is why great leaders, athletes, and performers all use their body intentionally. They've trained it to express strength even when pressure is high. The body doesn't follow the mind follows the body. For men, physiology often becomes the armor they wear. A confident stance projects authority, certainty, and strength. But many men carry tension in their bodies because they confuse control with compression. True confidence isn't rigid, it's fluid. It's the ability to be grounded and powerful while staying flexible and calm. For women, physiology reflects emotional alignment. When a woman moves with certainty, when her energy radiates through presence rather than performance, she commands attention without demanding it. Confidence for both genders isn't about appearance, it's about energy. And energy always begins with physiology. The fastest way to shift from fear to confidence is to change your state through motion. Move your body like someone who refuses to be uncertain. Breathe deeply from your core, walk with purpose, gesture with intention. Your nervous system responds to this as proof that you're safe and capable. This is not theory, it's biology. When you alter your physiology, you change your brain chemistry. Endorphins, serotonin, and dopamine begin to rise, pushing your mental state into empowerment. That's why power poses, workouts, or even simple stretching can instantly change your mood. Your body is a living command center for confidence. Think about how you enter a room when you feel insecure versus when you feel unstoppable. The difference isn't the situation, it's your posture, your breath, your tone. The way you carry yourself speaks before you ever open your mouth. People don't respond to your words first. They respond to your presence. And presence is a physiological experience. If your energy says you're small, the world treats you that way. But when your energy says you own the moment, everything around you adjusts to match it. You become magnetic because your body is aligned with certainty, not fear. To build unshakable confidence, you must make this physical mastery a daily habit. Stand tall the moment you wake up. Breathe with intention before you make decisions. Move with strength even when you don't feel strong. Each repetition rewires your nervous system to associate your body with certainty instead of hesitation. Over time, your body becomes your trigger for power. One deep breath, one strong stance, one decisive motion, and your confidence ignites. Because when you learn to command your physiology, you don't chase confidence, you embody it. Fear is not your enemy, it is your greatest source of energy waiting to be converted into power. Every person feels fear, but the difference between those who rise and those who retreat lies in how they use it. Most people waste fear by resisting it, running from it, or pretending it isn't there. But fear is fuel, it's raw energy that can either burn you or build you. When you shift your mindset from fear is stopping me to fear is fueling me, you stop letting emotion control you and start mastering it. The presence of fear doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're alive, standing on the edge of your next breakthrough. The moment you feel fear, your body is signaling that something matters. It's your nervous system telling you that the stakes are high, that growth is about to occur. Instead of shrinking from that energy, channel it. Every great achievement is fear at its foundation, because the things that truly matter always come with uncertainty. The key is not to eliminate fear, it's to redirect it. When you feel pressure, remind yourself pressure is proof of potential. Fear is the tension between where you are and where you could be. The more you embrace it, the more you expand. Men and women experience fear differently, yet both can transform it into power when they understand its purpose. Men often fear failure, the idea of not being enough, not providing, not winning. That fear can make them aggressive, defensive, or hesitant. But when a man learns to channel that same fear into hunger, into drive, into focused determination, he becomes unstoppable. Women often fear judgment, the weight of others' opinions, the fear of not being accepted or seen as worthy. But when a woman learns to alchemize that fear and expression into truth, into bold authenticity, she becomes magnetic. The path to confidence for both begins with transforming fear from an anchor into a weapon. Pressure doesn't crush people, it reveals them. It exposes who's trained their mind to adapt and who's been conditioned to retreat. When pressure hits, most people tighten up, overthink, or freeze. But those who train for pressure learn to see it differently. They know that pressure means progress. When your back is against the wall, you discover what you're truly capable of. Pressure activates focus, heightens awareness, and strips away distraction. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You don't become confident by avoiding tension, you become confident by mastering it. To make fear your ally, you must learn to anchor powerful meaning to it. The same adrenaline that fuels panic can also fuel performance. It's the same chemistry, only with a different story attached. When you say, But I'm nervous, your body tightens. But when you say, I'm excited, that same energy expands. The label changes the experience. Every time fear shows up, use it as a trigger for action. Train your body and mind to interpret fear as the signal to move, not to stop. Because the moment you move through it, fear loses its hold. True power is not found in the absence of fear, but in your ability to act with it. Fear becomes your teacher, it sharpens your instincts, strengthens your resolve, and reminds you that growth always lies beyond comfort. You don't destroy fear, you dance with it, you direct it, you use it as momentum. The more pressure you embrace, the greater your capacity becomes. Confidence is not the result of living without fear, it's the result of mastering fear and turning it into fuel for your mission. When you make pressure your power source, you don't just perform, you dominate every situation with certainty and control. Identity is the foundation of confidence. You can change your habits, your words, even your strategy. But if your identity stays the same, your results will always return to who you believe you are. Most people try to build confidence by changing their behavior without changing the story that drives it. But true transformation starts when you rewire your identity, when you stop seeing yourself as someone trying to win and start seeing yourself as someone who already does. The mind will fight for the identity it knows, even if that identity keeps you small. To break free, you must convince your subconscious that you're not becoming the person who wins. You already are that person. Your identity is shaped by repetition and emotion. Every time you hesitate, you reinforce the idea that you're uncertain. Every time you push through fear, you strengthen the identity of a finisher, a warrior, a winner. The human brain doesn't care about what's true. It only cares about what's consistent. That's why the people who succeed aren't always the most talented, but they are the most certain about who they are. You become what you repeatedly tell yourself, what you visualize, and what you emotionally reinforce. If you keep saying, I'm not confident yet, you're conditioning your mind to stay that way. But when you start declaring, I'm confident, I'm powerful, I'm unstoppable, your identity begins to shift from the inside out. Men often build their identity around achievement, their job, their strength, their ability to provide. When those things are challenged, their confidence can crumble because it's built externally. Women, on the other hand, often base identity around connection, care, or worth in us. When those are questioned, doubt seeps in. But both men and women must learn that identity cannot depend on validation. It must come from a decision. Confidence is not found in what you do. It's anchored in who you decide you are. When you choose an identity of strength, resilience, and certainty, everything you do starts to align with that belief. You no longer try to be confident, you act naturally from it. To rewire your identity, you must align your thoughts, emotions, and actions. The mind believes what the body demonstrates. If you say, I'm confident, but your body slouches and your tone is weak, your brain senses the mismatch. But when your physiology, your words, and your behavior move in sync, you begin to embody the identity you want. Every day is a chance to reinforce that version of yourself by how you speak, how you show up, and how you respond under pressure. It's not about pretending, it's about practicing until it becomes real. Identity shifts through repetition, not chance. Your environment plays a huge role in your identity as well. Surround yourself with people who see the winner in you, not those who remind you of your limits. The company you keep either pulls your identity upward or drags it backward. If you're constantly around people who doubt themselves, you start mirroring their uncertainty. But when you spend time with those who move with purpose, who act with confidence, your nervous system begins to model that energy. Your identity is contagious. Choose wisely what you allow to influence it. The fastest way to strengthen your identity as a winner is through consistent evidence. Each time you follow through, each time you keep a promise to yourself, you tell your subconscious, this is who I am now. Confidence doesn't come from outcomes, it comes from alignment. The moment your actions reflect the identity of a person who wins, the brain accepts it as truth. You stop chasing success and start embodying it, because when your identity matches your vision, hesitation dies, fear fades, and you become the living proof of the person you were always meant to be. Confidence isn't something you think your way into, it's something you act your way into. Most people wait until they feel ready before they take action, but that's the exact reason they stay stuck. Readiness doesn't create confidence, repetition does. Every time you take action despite doubt, you send a message to your brain that says, I can handle this. And that message rewires your nervous system for certainty. The truth is, you don't build confidence through intention, planning, or wishing, you build it through doing. You repeat the actions of confidence until the identity of confidence becomes real. The mind learns through experience, not imagination. You can visualize success all day, but until you move, nothing changes. Action creates feedback, and feedback creates growth. The first time you step into something new, you'll feel resistance. That's normal. Your brain is designed to protect you from uncertainty. But confidence is born in uncertainty. When you act, even imperfectly, you give your brain evidence that you're capable. Do it again, and suddenly fear begins to shrink. The repetition of courage becomes your new default, and hesitation loses its control over you. Men often believe they need to have everything figured out before they move, thinking that confidence comes from mastery. But mastery only comes from movement. The more they wait, the heavier the doubt becomes, until hesitation starts feeling permanent. Women, on the other hand, often want to feel emotionally aligned or completely certain before acting. But waiting for emotional perfection is like waiting for the tide to stop before you swim. It never happens. Confidence doesn't show up before action. It shows up because of it. Whether man or woman, the principle is the same. Action transforms uncertainty into momentum, and momentum transforms self-doubt into power. Repetition is the language of the nervous system. Every time you act, you're carving a new pathway in your brain, a new association that links action to safety, progress, and strength. The first time it feels forced, the 5th time it feels familiar, the 10th time it feels natural. That's how you make confidence real. You condition yourself through doing until the behavior that once terrified you becomes automatic. Consistency matters more than intensity. Small actions repeated daily build more belief than occasional bursts of courage. It's not about doing it once. It's about doing it until it's part of who you are. The problem is that most people stop too soon. They try something, fail once or twice, and take that as proof they're not confident enough. But failure is not a signal to stop. It's the evidence that growth is working. Confidence is built by falling and rising, by repeating the process until your body and mind recognize that nothing can break you. When you keep showing up, your subconscious stops questioning your capability because it has too much proof of your persistence. That's when confidence becomes unshakable, not because life gets easier, but because you've proven to yourself that you can face anything. Every confident person you've ever admired earned it through relentless repetition. They practiced when no one watched, they acted when it felt uncomfortable, and they kept going until confidence became their nature. That's the difference between intention and embodiment. Intention is a thought, action is identity. You don't wait to feel confident to move, you move until confidence appears. Because repetition doesn't just create results, it creates belief. And when you repeat with intensity, consistency, and faith, confidence stops being something you chase, it becomes something you live.